Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl meditation strategist Latina. How are y'all doing? Happy Friday. Hey, happy Friday. Y'all, we made it through the week. 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 I hope you all had a great week and I hope you got plans to do something good for yourself this weekend. I know it's the first weekend of the holidays, first weekend in December, and there's a lot going on. So I just want you to make sure that you check in on your psyche during this season. Anyhow, my name is Latina. I'm your meditation strategist. We are here to do Let's Talk About Coach Latina. Who am I and why am I here? Like what do I do? So this live stream is basically live stream about me. You're open to ask questions. You ask questions. I'll try to get to them. If I see them in the comments, I'll get to them. If not, I will hop back on and do a little quick live and I will answer your questions for you. Or if you feel like it's a personal question, then simply shoot me the question into my DM. And either way, I will answer it for you. Okay. So as you come into the room, please share, 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 share. I'm bound to say something tonight that somebody can relate to. So if you find some information, if I say something that you can pick up and that can resonate with you, then holler at your girl and just let me know. You can send me some love, send me some waves, send me some emojis or something. Just let me know that you resonate with what I'm saying because literally I know that my story is not everybody's story, and I'm well aware of that. So that's why I wanted to get out my story, get out my truth, and try to get y'all to understand a little about who I am and what brought me this far. Okay, so for starters, my name is Latina Edwards. I'm a certified meditation strategist. I am a certified stress coach as well. Um, I have a bachelor's degree in health science plus over 20 years experience as a licensed mental health professional. I am here. I help individuals, particularly my area is I help African American women overcome stress through relaxation tips and most importantly mindfulness and meditation. Okay, so that basically who I am, and that basically what qualifies me to come on and talk to y'all about these affirmations and meditations. Okay, so speaking of really really quick before we hop into the live, on December the 7th at 7:15 p.m. Central Standard Time, we will be live. We're going to do a meditation for grief, for dealing with grief during the holiday season. As you know, that I lost my mom on December the 7th, and she was admitted into the hospital the day after my birthday, which is November the 20th. So that means she was admitted on November the 21st. And excuse me, she was admitted on November the 21st. And per her admission, um, on the 21st, she moved around from one hospital to the next hospital, and her condition turned worse, and she eventually passed away on December the 7th. So I want to make sure that I do this special meditation session, not only for myself to kind of give me an extra push to keep pushing through the holidays, but to help someone else out here because I know that as with life and as with anything, I'm not the only one that deals with grief during the holiday season, and I'm not the only one that struggles with it. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that I do that special meditation for you. You can make sure that you get on that mailing list to get that Journey for Inner Peace ebook, and then you will immediately receive a notification and be notified by email and text message on when I go live. Okay. So that's housekeeping number one. And housekeeping number two, if this is your first time watching me, don't let it be your last time. Simply click the link and make sure that you follow at LARE House of Meditation across all your social media platforms. Okay. So, there are a few things we're going to cover tonight in this About Me session. But most importantly, I want you to know that I appreciate you for being here, that I am aware that some of the things that I might share with you all tonight may be triggering. And I want to apologize about that before time because I don't want to My attention is not to trigger you, but my attention is try to help you overcome some of those hurdles and barriers as if I had to overcome them too. And honestly, I am still overcoming them. Okay. So the first thing, the biggest question that I have had since I've actually been on my journey was, Tina, what happened? Tina, what happened? Like, what changed? What made you get to this point? Like, compared to who you was a few years ago, or who everyone knew you to be, what happened? What made this shift happen? Okay. So, hey, how you doing? We are just doing the about me. We're doing the Meet Latina. So, thank you for joining tonight's session. Make sure you click that link in the bio to get that Journey for Inner Peace ebook. Okay. So, the question was that I get the most is, Tina, what happened? What changed? Okay, y'all, listen, listen, listen. I told my cousin Charity a couple of months ago, when Charity and Sean, when they asked me, Tina, what happened? Listen, Latina got sick and tired of me. Y'all, I got so sick and tired of myself. Y'all, I was tired of myself. I was tired of being bitter. I was tired of being mean. I was tired of being angry. I was tired of taking out my frustration on other people. I was tired of putting the blame on everyone else, but wasn't taking accountability for my own actions. Um, y'all, I can tell you a lot, and I'm gonna tell you a lot. Just not on this live. We're gonna spread this thing out, because my goal is to do a monthly series of about me, so you can know who you're working with, know who your girl meditation strategist Latina is. So y'all won't be like, who? Me. I'm Latina. I'm your meditation strategist, owner of Lear House of Meditation, which stands for Love, Acceptance, Restore, and Embrace. So anyhow, child, let's get on back down to the goods. So I was so tired of being, oh my God, I was so tired of being me. And it got to the point where I wasn't sleeping at night. And it's like I would sleep a couple of hours. And I know that y'all always hear people say that the 4 o'clock hour, you wake up like at early in the wee hours of the morning, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Those are prayer hours. And I began to wake up so much during this time, where it was like something was saying, Tina, you need to work on you. You need to work on you. You need to work on you. So I began to pray. And then I began to journal. And then I began to understand that I was the problem. It wasn't anybody else, it was me. I was the problem. And my biggest problem was accountability. My biggest problem was blaming. My biggest problem was the faults. So, child, let me tell you, it was one situation I can recall years ago where I attempted suicide. I did. I had got so fed up. Not only I was not just fed up with myself, but I was just fed up with everything. It was a lot going on at one time, and I attempted suicide. I did. I had took some pills, and before I took the pills, I had called my sister. I had called my sister. I called chemo, and I had told her. I said, "Sister, I'm so tired." She was like, "What you talking about? What's wrong? Why you sound like that?" I said, "I done took these pills." Before I can look up, know anything, she literally stayed right around the corner anyway. She didn't stay but a minute from me. I look up, but not only is she coming through the door, she coming through the door like the Incredible Hulk. And we talked. Well, of course, she made me um, throw the pills up. So after we went through that whole thing, we sit down and we talk. And I was so broken. I got to telling her about how it felt to try to keep holding on to something, or holding on to someone, or holding on to a situation that was dead, and the hurt and the devastation that that situation alone caused me. Because I was trying to live an image for other people, and I wasn't happy with me. I wasn't happy with me. So because I wasn't happy with myself, I acted out. I started shit. I fought. Uh y'all, I got, boy, I was on the most, I was just angry. And on that, and during this time, I was faced with another situation because I felt that I was being picked on, right? Like, I feel like not only did the situation happen, but you kept on and you kept on and you kept on and you kept on and you keep on. I remember getting, during the same time, right? I remember getting a text message, no, getting an email from someone, and this person told me that they hated my guts and all this other stuff. And then she told me that she was gonna kill me, spit in my face, and raise my son. Y'all, if y'all don't know nothing else about me, when it come down to my kids and my grandkids and my money and my mama and my brother, my sister, I am an outright fool in real life. Like, it ain't no preventing it. I am a fool. Do you understand me? So at that point, when that girl told me that she was gonna spit in my face and kill me and raise my son, I said, Tina, get yourself together. Because without you, not only is what your baby boy gonna do, but what is Chris and Kayla gonna do? What is Jay gonna do? What is Chris and Kayla gonna do? Tina, you need to get your mind right. So y'all, guess what? After that incident happened, uh, I was forced to move out of my home. Like, literally, all this happened around the same time, right? So, with all, on top of all this other stuff happened, I was forced to move out of the house that I was staying in because the landlord had defaulted on the mortgage, wouldn't fix the sewage, and it was a big mess, right? So I had found a house literally like right down the street from where we were. So we stayed in that house, and I was still going through mentally, physically, and emotionally because, see, around this time, I had lost my aunt. A close friend of mine had killed herself. I was suicidal myself because I was depressed. I was stressed out. I felt like I didn't have anyone in my corner, like everyone was against me. And I knew that I wasn't a bad person because those people that could really get into me, that really knew me, those people that could understand where I'm coming from, basically, it was those people that could sit down and have a conversation with me and understand me for me, and not try to psychoanalyze me, or not try to make me feel like I should not be feeling this way, right? So it was a few people, two people in my family for sure that I knew um, grabbed the concept of who I was, okay? So they grabbed the concept of who I was. So around this time, we were in the process of dealing with all this other stuff I had going on. And then I got a notice that I had to move. Got this house down the street. It was a nice house, y'all. It was nice. It was a 3 bedroom, um, kitchen, and then I had a den that was sectioned off. It was real nice. 1.5 beds, bed, yeah, 1.5 bathrooms. I'm talking about, it was it was really, really a nice house. While I was in that house, you guys, so much happened. We was in that house for less than a year. So much happened during that time. So much happened. I lost myself. Y'all, when I tell y'all I lost myself, baby, I lost myself. I wasn't on drugs or anything like that, and I wasn't an alcoholic either. I just lost myself. I lost me because I was steady trying to hold on to be this person that my family that I felt like my family wanted me to be. Like no one, oh my God, Tina, if you really was who you want to be, like no one would accept you. Like really, Tina, no one would accept you. So on top of all this, I was dealing with those same suicidal thoughts. Now at this point, I didn't try suicide again. Okay, so at this point, after losing Tamika, which was my good friend, after losing Tamika, well, I called her TP. So after losing TP, um, my life began to change because a couple of things happened. Like my brother was in a car accident, and my brother was in a car accident. I had got laid off from one job. I was doing home health, and I got laid off one job, and I had started a job at ABC Financial, and I really didn't know anything about clerical work or call center work or anything like that. So I had to basically learn as I went, but I knew that I no longer wanted to do CNA. So I knew that I wanted to do something. So I took the trades that I had as well as my associate's degree, and I was able to land a good job at ABC Financial. Okay. So, on top of all this other stuff going on, I'm still suicidal, I'm still depressed, but I'm pushing my way through, right? So, a breaking point came when um, my brother, now, mind you, I lost my aunt, and then we lost TP, and then my brother was involved in a bad car wreck, right? So, I got the call to um, go to the hospital where my brother was. And I was driving there and I just started praying. I was like, Lord, whatever you're doing, whatever the purpose or whatever the reason is behind all this pain and all this hurt, please, God, deliver me, show me a way out. Like, Lord, what do I need to do? Like, what do I do? How would I do it without my brother? How would I do it without my aunt? How would I do it without really knowing me? Like, what am I doing? Like, Tina, you got these kids, yeah, you working, you got these kids, you doing it because the outside world see Tina, oh yeah, Tina making it. You know what I'm saying? If ain't nobody else gonna do it, Tina gonna make it work. Tina gonna make it shake. Make sure she gonna. It's always been my three plus you, meaning God equals me. So that's always been my motto, right? So during this time, I'm driving down University. I'm driving down University now. Where I stayed was in Southwest, and it didn't take me any time to get to St. Vincent where he was, but it literally took me longer because I sat on University at the train track. And while that train was coming, I was praying. I was praying like, Lord, please don't take my brother away. Lord, please don't take my brother away. Lord, what am I gonna do? Oh God, what am I gonna do? Jesus, what am I gonna do? You know, I'm just really having a moment with God, right? So as the train passed and I got a little further down University, I hit like a set of lights. And I'm study crying and I'm study praying because I'm nervous. I'm knowing that the car wreck was pretty bad, right? And some other things were going on. So at the same time, I'm really scared because I didn't know. I didn't know what was next, you know. So um it was like driving down University somewhere, and then I was at the four-way light where it was at University crosses over to Colonel Glenn. So then I keep straight, but right there, literally right there at that light, my life changed. And what I mean by right there at that light, my life changed, y'all. I was at that light and I had a flashback from every obstacle, every hurdle, every challenge, everything that I have experienced in my life, negatively and positively, and how I overcame, how I was able to overcome those challenges, like being in resource, being raped, um, being mentally abused, being physically abused, being financially abused, being emotionally abused, just facing abuse, period. And being the liar, being the person that no one really believed, but I really wasn't lying. Like literally, a lot of stuff I was not lying about. Y'all just failed to believe because y'all didn't want to believe, because it was like, okay, well, nah, that didn't happen. Nah, that couldn't happen. Nah, and it did. And then when it came out, it happened. It was like, okay, well, it is what it is. Anyway, y'all, that's for another live session, so we ain't gonna get into that. Hey, how you doing? For y'all just not joining me, my name is Latina. I'm your meditation strategist. We are doing about me. We are getting to some of the details and some of the life of Coach Latina, so that you all can really kind of understand who I am and kind of relate. So if this is your first time joining, please don't let it be your last time joining. Follow at LARE House of Meditation across all your social media platforms. Okay. So as I was saying, y'all, about this story, um, so at that moment, at that light, when I tell you my life changed, like literally, I sat there and literally I seen everything that happened from me almost drowning to the rape to the troops coming out to to wrecking cars to the lies I had told, to the truths I had told, to although it was a lie, it eventually came out to be a truth, and it favored me because I really wasn't lying, but because I had already did so much damage, it was hard to be believed because I never made it easy to be loved. That was just me. I never made life easy. But again, that'll be talked about on another live. So anyway, so I was at this like, man, about 10 minutes, and as I was driving down, I got another call. It was my mom. Someone had called from, someone had got in contact with her from the church, and she was like, Tina, um, go to the hospital, and if you need me, call me. I'm gonna be on the way. I said, okay. So I got to the hospital, and when I got in, I don't know, I think it was my cousin Dwayne I seen. I think it was Dwayne I seen. And he gave me a hug, and he told me, he said, it's not as bad. The blood is on it, but it's really not as bad when you go in here, Tina. It ain't as bad. Yeah, it's a bad situation because it happened, but Tina, it really ain't as bad. Just go in here and just breathe and just know he's talking, he's responsive, he's not plugged up to no tubes or anything. So I was like, okay, okay. So here go me. Okay. Okay, so as I got into the room and I seen him, um, I broke down. And then I heard the Lord say, you made me promises. Don't keep them. Literally, like, you made me promises, you gonna keep them. It was not like you made me promises, are you gonna keep them? No, you made me promises, you gonna keep them. I said, okay. So over days, of course, he got better and he went home, and some other stuff happened after that. But uh, that was that reality check. That was a way of God sending me that message to get me together, to let me know that what I was living wasn't it, and whether I wanted to accept this change or not, this change was going to come. And from that day that he had that wreck up until about 6 months later, my life started changing. Literally, my life started changing. We ended up moving out of that home. We moved to a home in West Little Rock. I basically cut off contact from anyone that I was dealing with in Southwest Little Rock that did not mean me no good. So that means I stopped talking to everybody but two people, which was my cousins Ikea and my sister Chemo. Um, I cut off everybody. When I tell you I moved and no one knew where I stayed but my family. And the family that knew where I stayed knew not to tell my location to anybody. And I trusted, of course, I trusted Chemo and Kia to know where I stayed. That's family, and my cousin's Ikea. She was gonna know where I stayed regardless to, regardless to if I wanted to, regardless if I wanted her to or not. But anyway, I my life changed, and once I got away from that environment, I remember writing a letter to my mom and basically letting my mama know who I was and that I was tired of hiding my truth. I was tired of living a lie. I was tired of trying to be this person that I wasn't. And not only that, I was tired of being miserable and I wanted to be happy. And I remember a conversation that me and my mom had, and she said, "What, Tina? I already knew you was gay." She said, "At first, I didn't know what you was doing. Now I ain't never just been happy about it. I ain't never just been happy about it, but I've seen you, I've watched you, and I'd rather you be with somebody that's gonna make you happy, somebody that's gonna love you, somebody that's gonna treat you good, than continue to go through the hurt and the pain of which you've been going through." Um, that was a turning point for me because not only did I write that letter and I get everything out, I was able to express how everything leading up to that moment began to take a toll on me. And I was so bad that I wouldn't get invited to anything. I would be looking up and I'll see stuff going on. And I'm like, well, damn, why they didn't? Tina, girl, you didn't want to be around yourself. So then Tina decided to start working on me, and I'm talking about working on me hard. And I never forget my homegirl told me, she said, "Tina, you deserve better. And when you get ready to get better, you gonna get better, you gonna do better, you gonna stay better." I didn't know what she meant. I did not know what she meant by that. But to this day, I still go by those words. I still remember that conversation. I still remember breaking down. I still remember the suicidal thoughts, the suicidal attempt that I had. I remember watching the pain in the inflection of watching a close friend, someone that I looked at to be a sister, commit suicide, and there was nothing that I could do. It went from, "Hey sis, I'm gonna call you back when I get upstairs," to not even an hour and a half later get another call, "Hey, we are at Baptist and TP killed herself." To someone literally saying that they were going to spit in my face and some more stuff, take my and raise my son, and some more stuff about a situation that I really didn't want to be in the first place. I was just in it just to have something to do. I was in it trying to people please. Okay. So no, that day, that day is when my life changed. And I say that with conviction because I say it knowing that if I would have kept going down that road that I was going down, ain't no telling where my mind would have been, y'all. Because I was almost at the crazy house. Literally, I was almost over there on Ash, right across the street from my job. I was almost there because I was losing it in real life. I was. Now, mind you, y'all know I already got, well, I already suffer from depression and anxiety and PTSD. So, on top of having suicidal ideation, and suicidal thoughts, y'all, I was so broken and I was so scared and I didn't know what to do. So then I began to work on me. The first thing I learned how to do was look in the mirror and look at myself, literally look at myself, because for so long looking in the mirror was a problem to me. I never wanted to look in the mirror because that person that was looking back at me was not the person I wanted to be. So when you get to that point that that person in that mirror that you're looking at, that reflection, you is not that person you want to be, you know it's time for a change. So once I looked in my mirror and I looked in that mirror at that new house. Oh, let me tell you about this new house. The new house fell into place, and it was nothing but God that allowed me. It was God, prayer, meditation, affirmation. It was my belief. It was me changing my mindset, changing my focus, and wanting better for myself, and knowing that that flash that I had was life changing, and it was a flash to tell me that I needed to get my stuff together. Like what I was doing wasn't working right, because what I wasn't doing wasn't working right. So this house fell into play. Where I was, the air had went out. It went out like on a Wednesday. And I wasn't supposed to move until that next week. So the air went out on a Wednesday, and I had called my new landlord, and I was telling her about the situation, and she told me, she said, well, it was Wednesday night when the air went out. And then I called her Thursday, and she said, well, I had an appointment. Something was going on that Friday. She said, well, when they come and they do what they got to do, then Tina, you can go. No, she said, then Latina, you can come on and meet me, and I'll give you the key to the house. Okay. So I started crying, and I was like, oh my God, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. So I hung up the phone with her, had my moment, and then I called my mama. And I was telling my mom, I was like, well, the air went out over here, and this and the other, this and the other. And she was like, well, Tina, if the air is out, you just leave. Pack your kids a bag and just leave for the weekend. I was like, no. The kids had left. I think my sister. Yeah, I think my sister went. No, I think Jalen had went over to my sister's house, and yeah, he did. Jay went over to his auntie's house, and Chris and Kayla went to their grandparents' house. But that was like doing maybe like a 24-hour time span or whatever, because it had got hot. But something told me to go get my kids, because the weekend it was gonna be cooled off. So I went and got them kids when I got out of work. And when I tell you we packed up that house, I got them keys. We packed up that house. I moved basically my whole house. Me and my kids and my niece Shun basically moved that whole house back and forth with my car. Then the big stuff, the the big stuff. I was talking to. I had called Miss Pat, and I was telling her, I was like, well, I'm trying to get everything moved, this and other, this and the other. And she said, well, do you need a truck? I said, yes. Y'all, let me tell you, she sent the maintenance man. The maintenance men, it was two of them. She sent two maintenance men with a little bit of Ford truck to come move my big stuff from after the house. They made two trips. And on their last trip, I got that stuff, everything that was in that house. I brought my kids to the new house. We prayed. Well, I prayed personally over the home. And then the next day, my mama came to the house and she prayed. And then within a matter of days, my brother had came to the house, and he had some holy water, right? And he had it on his hand, like that oil. He had it on his hand, and he touched that wall in my bathroom. And to this day, well, it's not there now because I don't live in it anymore. I'm sure it was painted over. That print was in that house on that wall. And that was, I later found out that that was his way of saying, I can rest now. And then eventually he passed. But the moral to the story is that I learned that when I got sick of my own self, y'all, when I got sick and tired of being sick and tired of being fed up, people tell you whenever you get sick and tired of a situation, ain't nobody got to tell you change you're going to do. Y'all, listen, believe me on that. I got sick and tired of being sick and tired of me. And I decided to change. And as I started making those changes and really, really, really discovered who I was, I discovered that I was really a good person, and that I really, really loved me, and that I was tired of being a I was tired of being a pick Misha. I was tired of being somebody's option. I was ready to be a priority. Now, true enough, I had to kiss another frog, and kiss another frog, and kiss another frog to get to my queen. But I did, and I believed it. And when I tell you I manifested everything, let me show y'all in my phone. Hey, how you doing? As you come into the room, please let me know you're here. I'm trying to find this thing I had. I made it, put it in my notes. Yep. Okay. In 2018, you see that? Y'all might not be able to see. It's a blur on there. Anyway, in 2018, y'all, I had sat down and I made a list about what I wanted. What I wanted in a mate. This two is I made this list and I got another one. I wanted what I wanted in a mate, what I wanted in a career, what my goals was, what my goals for my children were. I went back on another notepad and I described my mate to a T. And I wanted, my biggest thing was I wanted someone that wanted me, someone that would love me and accept me and treat me good, someone that would know my value and my worth, someone that will climb Mount Everest if I needed them to, right? So um it took a while for me to get to my queen. And in the process of that, I never gave up on myself. I never gave up on my mental. I never gave up on me. I always kept me first. I always thought about me. I didn't think about this person or that person. I thought about me. And when I mean by I thought about me, I knew that, yeah, I was in situations where I thought that that's where I wanted to be, and I knew that's where I want to be. And then when that situation became a dead end situation, I broke down, had a moment, I rescinded into myself. I spoke with my cousin, spoke with my mom, life changed. And from there, it was an uphill battle. So I said that to say that you see me now where I am, but I'm human too, right? I have not always been this meditation person. I have not always been cool, calm, and collected. I have not always been that person that will think about stuff versus reacting. It took me trial and error to get here. It took some major things happening in my life, like within that short time span, and all that happened within a year, guys. Like it did. It happened within a year. It happened within the time I maybe about 2 months before moving out that first house, and less than a year before moving out that second house. So like all this happened during that time frame that was really like an eye opener to me, to let me know that, Latina, the suicidal thoughts, that ain't it. Giving up on yourself, that ain't it. If you give up on yourself, or if you turn to um thinking negatively, or if you continue down this path that you're on, not only are you going to be alone, miserable, sad, bitter, and blue, you're literally going to be alone, miserable, sad, bitter, and blue. And I had to do the work that it took to understand me, you know. Um, and now I'm here, and I'm literally able to say that when I tell y'all that meditation, affirmation, and prayer works, it does. Manifestation is real. It is. I decided to study the art of meditation and mindfulness because I noticed that for me, when I was getting naked with myself and I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I got that good old hot book of Psalms, I got the good old high book of Psalms, and I would really define me, and I would cry and I would pray and I would meditate, and things would start changing, and it was for the better. But it took me a while to get here. It did. And it took meditation, it took prayer, it took belief, it took consistency, it took me not giving up on myself, it took me knowing that I was better than what I thought I was, that I could um overcome any challenges or any hurdles, and it was going to be okay at the end of the day. That, yeah, it's a hurdle, yeah, it's a challenge, but hey, I'm human, and that I could tap into my gifts, tap into me. I've always been an empath. I've always been able to pick up on other people's emotions and feelings. So why couldn't I pick up on my own emotions and feelings? Why couldn't I defend me for me? Why couldn't I be honest and real with myself? Why couldn't I walk into my power? And then I decided that I could. And I was able to accomplish this by doing affirmations, meditation, and prayer, and having faith, and then keeping it consistent. Um, Redirecting those negative thoughts to those positive thoughts. I was able to do that. And I am here to let you all know that if you do the work, that mindset, that negative mindset, to those challenges that you're having can and will be overcome, but you have to do the work. You can't you can't expect for a change and not put in the work to get it done. It's not going to happen that way. This is like saying that you want to lose 1,000,000 pounds and you want to be a millionaire. How can you lose weight but you're not doing what you have to do? You're not eating healthy, you're not going to the gym, you're not doing any kind of fasting or any kind of juicing, you're not incorporating green vegetables, you're not this, you're not doing that. Or how can you be a millionaire but yet and still you're not doing anything at all to help you build that millionaire status? You haven't started a small business, you haven't continued your education, you're not doing anything. It's like you're saying, oh yeah, I want to be a millionaire, and you just believing to be a millionaire just gonna fall out the sky. Unfortunately, every one of us is not, a lot of us is not born with a silver spoon in our mouth, and a lot of us have to work for what we have. And when you work for what you have to come back that with showing gratitude for those things that you have, and doing what you have to do to make that possible, to be a millionaire and to lose that weight. You know what I'm saying? So basically what it is, faith without work is dead. And how can you want to be a better person and not do the work? And that was my thing for a long time, where I wanted to be a better person because I knew I could be a better person, but I didn't want to do the work. And then once I started doing the work, I realized that I was really like, good, Tina, like really, you're really something else. Like literally, you don't have to be extra, and you don't have to do this and the third, because when you walk into the room, either way it go, you're gonna shine because of who you are. When you open your mouth, people gonna listen. They might act like they not, but they are, because you have value, you have worth, you know who you are. When you speak, people listen. When you encourage, people are encouraged. When you motivate, people motivated. But in order to get to that point, you have to go through the process. You have to own your own journey and your story. And for me, it started with that experience, having to go through that hard time in my life, having that wake up call at that 4-way, knowing that there was a God, believing and trusting in my value and my worth, and being sick and tired of being sick and tired of myself. That's what brought me to this point. So I hope that you all enjoyed the story of who I am. Who I am. So to answer the question of Tina, what changed? I got tired. I got sick and tired. I got sick and tired. I was tired of my own self. And I decided that if I wasn't gonna change this, the change that I had to make was not for anybody else. It wasn't for nobody. It wasn't for my kids. It had to have been for me. And when I got on my journey and my path, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like it was easy. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I jumped off the bus And I've been on the bus the whole time. Absolutely not, because I had my hurdles, I had my trials, I had my emotions and my experiences where I had to check myself and realize, Tina, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Girl, don't you know who you are? Why are you letting somebody treat you like that? Girl, that ain't you. You know who you are. Get your whole life together. And baby, when I tell you I had to level up my life, I had to level it all the way. And that was the best decision I made, was to admit to myself that I was sick and tired of being sick and tired of my own self, that I wanted better, that I needed better, that I could have better. And it started with me being honest with me, looking at me, evaluating me, accepting that I was the problem, and taking accountability for my own actions. It is hard. It's the truth. It is hard. And a lot of people hate to get naked with themselves because they're really, really scared of what they're going to see. But in order to move forward, it's imperative that you do get naked with yourself to be this person that you want to be. It's like a requirement. Like what doesn't come before the other, it has to be done. You have to be able to be honest with yourself and then get naked with yourself and stay consistent and be determined for that change. And once you do that, it'll start happening. So I'm about to wrap it up. But you guys, I hope that I said something tonight that resonated with you, something tonight that you were able to pick up some kind of lesson, some kind of encouragement, or some kind of word. I know I said a lot. And like I said at the top of the hour, everybody's story is not my story. Some people were able to pick it up, some people will not be, and that's okay. But if you're real with yourself, then there's something that I said within this last hour that resonated with you. And it's okay. It's okay to admit that you need help. It's okay to admit that, yeah, I'm sick of me too. You know, to admit that, yeah, maybe I do need to try to reevaluate and do some self reflection and realize maybe I do need to figure out what it means to get naked with myself. It's okay. I mean, we are all human, so it's absolutely okay. And once you get to that point to know that it's okay, you're on the way. You're on your way. And to start, I can offer you an amazing opportunity tonight. I want you to make sure that you click this link and get the Journey for Inner Peace ebook. If you get the Journey for Inner Peace ebook tonight, it's going to be absolutely free, right? But on the back end of that, you're going to receive a guided meditation that I use to help me overcome those challenges and to help me to be able to not only get naked with myself, but to be okay with what I saw in the mirror, to be okay with that reflection, to be okay with not being okay, to be okay even now to look at myself in the mirror and say, Latina, you literally came a long way, and mean it. Not just because of the materialistic things that I have or the materialistic idea, the materialistic ideas that people may think, but to know that within I've came a long way. I'm not that same person. You can change. You can literally reset at any moment. You have the right to reset. You have the right to stop. You have the right to admit that you're tired of yourself and that you want to change. And if that's the case, then do me a favor, click this link to make sure that you get this Journey for Inner Peace ebook, because it's going to be your start. It's going to be a start. It's going to be a way to help you at your own pace, because the Journey for Inner Peace ebook, it is a self-paced, it's an ebook. Self-paced, you read, you understand, you acknowledge, you pick it up, and then at the end there's a space for you to do some writing, some reflections, for you to really evaluate. So click that link in the bio to make sure that you get it's in the bio, but it's actually going to be up under this video. To make sure that you get that Journey for Inner Peace ebook tonight. Okay. I'll be back to do Q&A after a while. It might not be today, but I'll be back to do Q&A. If you leave me the question or DM me the question, like I said, I'll hop back on to answer questions. And I thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. For taking this hour to let's talk about it and understand who I am. And y'all, I ain't through. My story didn't stop. It keep going and going and going. So, with that being said, I will be back on the first of each month. My goal is to be the first of each month to come on and do a brief about me to help you all better understand me and who I am. And on Monday night, we're going to do the affirmation meditation, and that's Monday at 7:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then we're going to do that special affirmation or that special meditation for grief on December the 7th. So I shall talk to you all soon later in the week, you guys. I hope you all have a great weekend and do something for yourself this weekend. The holidays are coming. I get it. We got to do Christmas shopping. We got to clean our house. We got to get ready for vacations or whatever the thing is, family coming in. But you still have to check in with yourself. You still need to give yourself 30 minutes. In order to get through the holiday chaos and in the business, you have to check in with yourself and you have to take your time. So take 30 minutes for the next couple of days. Repeat the affirmation: I am beautiful, I am bold, I am someone, and I deserve to be loved, and go forth accordingly. Okay. So until next time, beautiful souls, we shall talk soon. Bye bye.